welcome. I'm Bigwander, digital artist, and yeah, I wanted to go over this work I did for Lava Lamp Games for a game called Power Fantasy. Super fun bullet hell game for those who like this genre. Okay, well, this is like the 40th recording, so I'm just gonna go for it. It's okay. Please forgive my mistakes, but yes, so I started with doing some traditional sketching before going digital, and I worked on an iPad with Procreate to start doing this artwork that you're seeing on screen. So I went with, this is still the sketch bit where I was basically sending back and forth to the client to check and get some feedback. And once we decided, I kind of went for, yeah, setting up a little bit more of a clean version. So I start with the character. Her name is Icicle, is one of the characters that you can be in the game. And luckily, like, this is a special kind of job because for me it was special because the game was already playable, so I could basically take screenshot, play to get the vibe and everything around it. So that was awesome, and it made it much easier to envision kind of something, and the color palette as well. And yeah, I really like this character and the idea of having this icy kind of mage, archer, ranger, yeah, in a magma environment that already kind of works. And so yeah, like, this is a typical thing that I do and many other people do. So I start from a very solid color as a background, to fill the whole thing, and then I start kind of pulling out the shapes using light. And in this case I have two sources of light. So I have the hand throwing this sort of a projectile, kind of an icicle from the hand, and the bow as well will be kind of a light source. And I could also use kind of the lava in the background to get, I don't know if you can see there, but the lower edges are kind of a warm tonality, so it contrasts very well with the very cold kind of main color of her. And also for the darker shades, so ambient occlusion as well, I kind of use warm tonalities so it contrasts even better. Then yeah, I went on the background just to give myself kind of a background, and I think in a little bit I will also kind of tilt a little bit the canvas, because I felt it was kind of boring, just straight horizontal line. And even though it's gonna be like a slight change, yeah, here we go, like it's not a big change, but kind of adds a lot. And I didn't want the projectile to be horizontal either, so I kind of had to find a halfway there. Yeah, so now I'm hiding the main sketch because I kind of get an outline on other layers from it, so I can hide the main sketch and kind of play around. And I'm using that kind of the lava pool on the right, like behind the Spider Woman, to have some contrast on her silhouette, so it's kind of like detached from the background, so it's easier to see her. Those are the mushrooms, which I was super proud of. Super cute mushrooms. But yeah, this is kind of a stage where I'm still kind of thinking. I'm not going all in for something and just playing around, adding characters, and I still have that whitish kind of rectangle that's still the old sketch. So yeah, I'm just trying to play around a little bit at this stage, and I do have notes about it, but it was a mess. So let me check, because at this stage I'm still with the outlines there. Here I'm adding some boulders that are also in the game, so I'll probably try to record something and put it up like an overlay on top of this, so you can see what I mean. yeah, I'm already kind of happy with it, and I'm trying to focus on what's gonna be the light source, and like how to avoid, you know, bringing too much attention elsewhere. And at this stage, I think, yeah, there's already a sketch on top, like on her. She's kind of holding a ball. There's a ball kind of hovering on top of her hand, and that's gonna be a projectile, but yeah, we ended up taking away. But yeah, I'm using the light from the projectile, if you see, the icicle one, to have that white contrast on her, like that white rim light. And I'm also using the red of the projectile that she's holding. But then, yeah, again, we kind of removed that. It was stealing too much the attention. If you look at the whole piece, you kind of see that is, yeah, your eye is kind of drawn to the red thingy. So we just removed it after. But yeah, basically it's playing with lights, shadows, imagining, okay, there is, you know, this red lava background, so it's kind of bouncing here and there on characters, and against it some very cold, dark tonality. So it's, yeah, I think it works pretty well. And I'm still learning so much of this stuff, so like it's not like I'm a master or anything. I'm still, I think everyone is still learning all the time, but I was particularly happy with this. So here I'm working on the eyes, on different layers, kind of using the lasso tool with fills and playing around with shapes. And yeah, at this stage I think I noticed that that big icicle on the left is really like prominent, like it's stealing a lot of the attention. So I kind of noted that in my head, even though at that time I wasn't sure how to tackle it. So yeah, I just moved on, you know, like sometimes it's also good to just, okay, thoughts for later, now let's move on, and then something better comes up. And here my worry was to, okay, I have a background character, I want it to, you know, to be readable, but not to steal the attention as well. But also not to merge with the background, so with the skyline. So I'm using this kind of red rim light that doesn't make too much sense at this stage, and I didn't think about the sense of it. I just wanted to have something to, you know, cut them off, and later it's gonna make sense. And here we have the mushroom trio, which I love. I kind of while doing them, I was I don't know, I was thinking, these guys must really hate these characters. Like every run they come and kill all their families. So I kind of got on their side for a moment while drawing them. Here I'm refining the Spider Woman. And what I really like to do, and you can kind of see it all across, is to use light, shadow, and light, like in to contrast things. So you have always kind of a shadow in between two sources. So between the red rim light and the blue one on the other side, you have a dark tonality in between. And that helps a lot with the volume. Here I'm getting a little bit of light from the projectile on the ground. And let me see. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to do with the background. So I had kind of random, yeah, clouds and stuff, and just seeing where it could lead, but I didn't have a clear direction. Later on it's gonna be much clearer. And yeah, I'm jumping basically between things and rendering here and there, but that's something that I do. I think it's useful for not getting too stuck on one thing, and then, even though I did the whole main character at once, which is not something I typically do. I don't know why I did it that way, but okay. Oh, here, yeah, you see that icicle that I'm adding, like that ice cluster. Basically, that's gonna be the solution. Like, you know, once I add a couple of those, and then after, I think I'm gonna add a third one, I don't know, the main one that is in front with on the left kind of loses a little bit of its, yeah, prominency. Yeah, and now adding those flames behind. So here I was noticing the rim light on the ogres, and I was like, wait, why don't I put some actual light source behind them? So these gigantic flames, which makes sense in a hellish environment, and then the rim light makes sense. So everything came together nicely there. Could have been different. So this is kind of a, yeah, I don't plan too much ahead, but this time was very fortunate. So yeah, I'm tweaking here and there, but mostly I'm done. I think I did some silhouettes in the background where basically you lose detail the more you go, the further away you go from the camera. So here I'm still thinking, yeah, I need some rendering here and there. So the goblins back there, yeah, getting some detail, but not too much. I'm not going really too deep. Because I don't want them to be just, silhouettes. That could be kind of flat. And this goblin here, yeah, it's not gonna last very long because I started doing it and rendering and adding light, and it didn't make sense really. Like, it was too much detail for such a tiny thing in the background. So I think I end up enclosing him into eyes. So that was the solution. So it's a kind of a storytelling thing where I become the wizard that decides to shut off that guy. Oh yeah, here's another enemy that I wanted to put. So these are just gigantic skulls, and it didn't really fit at the beginning. I was kind of tweaking around, playing with shapes, and yeah, it did make sense in a sense, but we both were not sure about it. We were like, okay, it's an enemy, but it doesn't feel right. And so I think I am adding one in a little bit, just in a second, because I was like, okay, I'm not convinced, but what if the non-convincing part is that it's alone, it's just one, like basically like the icicle at the beginning, the big one. Once we added more in the scene, kind of made sense. So I think, yeah, I'm still detailing that guy, but I'm gonna add a new one. And then we both kind of went, okay, now it works. So sometimes I think I was still unsure about the placing, yes. So also the size was too big, like, wait. So move them around, and yes, here I'm freezing the goblin. Because it helped also with the silhouette of the skull in front. So yeah, it's kind of a play between shapes. That's kind of what I'm trying to think here. Adding some light behind the mushrooms, so their shape also contrasts more. But yeah, at this point we both are kind of happy with how this is turning up, and yeah, it's working well. The enemies are also recognizable from the game, so that's pretty good. And I think here I'm gonna start playing around with the sky in a little bit. And we have a new ogre entering the scene, which is not very clear what he's doing, but I think it was just there to fill some space. So yeah, here with the sky I wasn't really sure, but then once I added the flames in the background, I kind of thought some diagonal lines as smoke trails or something could work. And then, yeah, I kind of liked that solution. Then I added that butterfly, which is also part of the game, because I felt that area was kind of left a little bit empty. So butterfly and some bats. So it's kind of a playing with shapes and stuff, and figuring out. Sometimes what I do is like trying to see where my eyes go, and if I notice that they go somewhere that I don't want them to go, I kind of like the mistake becomes a little bit clearer. And I still think like I could improve by a gazillion times this drawing, but we were super happy with it. I was happy with the process, how it turned out, and everything. And here I'm basically adding some post-processing, which are separate layers with the blending modes and different brush strokes, and then playing also with opacity. So I'm bringing out a little bit of contrast and the shininess of some lights. And yeah, I was pretty happy with this. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this whole thing, you found it somehow useful. And no, thank you for tuning in. And if you want to support, leave a comment, subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, take care. Thank you.